Hey everybody, welcome back to There's More in You channel. Thank you so much for all the birthday shout outs and the pre-orders for the book, for There's More in You. I appreciate it so much. Thank you for the support, the love, the encouragement throughout this process. But today's topic is, how bad do you want it? How bad do you want whatever it may be in your life? During this process of preparing for my book, with the layout, I'm in the beginning of it. I printed out altogether 45 copies of my manuscript. So each time a person edit or my editor edits the copies, I print it out to read it as a book. And I had to continue to read it, make changes, go back, resend it, make more changes. But I kept getting rejection, no after no. And I cried some nights. I couldn't understand why this kept happening to me. If this really what I wanted to do, why I keep getting rejected, what is going on with this process? So there was one particular situation where the last time I put it through, and the young lady edited it, took out some of the very important parts of the book. So I had to go back in and make some more changes, give it back to another editor, and I kept going back and forth, from February up until June, back and forth. And there was a moment of my life that I was really ready to quit because of the process, because of how everything was happening with this book and how stuff was trying to tear me away from completing what I said I wanted to do. And I had to ask myself, Karona, how bad do you want it? In spite of the storms that were going on in my life, in spite of different people either walking away, or the rejection from friendships, or rejection from different companies, or not saying, girl, if I was you, I'd change this. And just a pin there. Your friends may mean well, but sometimes them telling you or giving you advice could push you away from the very thing you need to do. If I was you, I would do this. They are not you. Do what you need to do and get the things done. So I kept hearing, girl, if I wouldn't do that, or the book cover shouldn't look like this, the back shouldn't look like that. This was my vision. This is my vision that God has given me, the provision that He's placed on the inside of me to complete the things. And I had to sit down with tears in my eyes and say, Karona, how bad do you want this? What are you willing to do to push past the pain, to push past the no's, to push past the rejection? There are more people for you than they are against you. And those that are against you, you cannot focus on them, but you need to be aware of who they are and push forward. So that was a question I had to really ask myself, and I had to push past the pain. It was like a glass ceiling that I was pushing through it to break through the glass to get to where I needed to get to. And at the end, the finished product, I was blessed to meet someone to help me to finish the product that I needed to finish. It was a process. It was a stretch. I had to be able to work a little longer, to sacrifice when I wanted this, to be able to pay for this, to do what I needed to do. But that was my determination to get it done, because it was in me before it came out of me. So I had to let that thing flow like rivers of water in order to finish the process that needed to be done, the product, in order to finish the product. But when I got to the end and everything looked great, and I got the copy of my book, and I actually looked at it and I said to myself, this is what it takes. You have to put it all in and say, this is how bad I want it. In spite of the night I stayed up crying, or the night I stayed up from 4 a.m. on the computer, constantly reading everything and reviewing everything and looking over stuff to make sure it was what I wanted. So again, people, ask yourself, whatever it may be, if you're starting a business, or you keep getting rejection, or people telling you need to change the name, you need to do it this way, this is what God has given you. How bad do you want it? And here's another thing. Learn to because everybody don't need to know the process. Everybody do not need to know what you're doing, how you're doing it in the midst of. And it's okay. You got to push past the pain and keep asking yourself in that mirror, how bad do I want it? What am I willing to do to get to where I need to get to? Am I willing to get up early in the morning and pray, fast, whatever it takes? If I need to connect with an accountability partner, someone who's going to hold me accountable, and not baby you doing this, but whatever you need to do, seek God first and get it done. Get it done. It's time to finish some things and go to the next level. Again, How bad do you want it? How bad are you willing to let some people, places, and things go to get to the next level in your life? I encourage you on today, as you go throughout this day and enjoy the Labor Day, but ask yourself, how bad do I want this thing? What am I willing to do to get to where I need to get to? I love you all. Thank you so much for your love and your support. Go to there'smoreinYou.com to pre-order your book, There's More in You. And also you can follow me on Instagram, K_Wilson, or as in Randy, or Karona Wilson on Facebook. Thank you again for your love and your support. I really do appreciate you all. But this week, when trials come and oppression comes and storms will come to try to knock the wind out of you, but ask yourself, in the midst of the tears and the sweat and the confusion sometimes and not knowing how bad do I want it? What am I willing to do to get to where God has for me? And what do I need to let go? And who do I need to let go to get to where God has for me and the place that He's trying to elevate you in Him? I love you and thank you so much for the support. Continue to seek Him in all that you do. And I pray that you continue to seek Him, that there is more in you, as I continue to recognize there's more in me as well. God bless you.